What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Spilling Wine with Kelly. This is going to be, I guess, my first solo episode. If you guys watch my podcast, you know that I've been getting into more serious topics like mental health, domestic violence awareness. But my OG listeners know that the reason I started a podcast was because of my crazy story times. So today we're back with a story. Since I started a podcast, I've been having a lot of people from my high school reach out to me like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in years. Like, I see that you're doing great, and asking me how I've been and everything. And a couple weeks ago, I got a Snapchat message. Mind you, I don't use Snapchat at all. I feel like I have an odd opinion on that. If you are in your late 20s, mid 20s, and you're still using Snapchat, I think you need to go back to high school. I only use Snapchat for my memories from high school to look back on, obviously, but I'm not over here snapping people. I think it's so childish. But anyways, moving along. I get a Snapchat message from some guy that I haven't seen since high school. When I was a freshman, he was a senior. He randomly reached out to me and was like, hi, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? Like, who is this? Because I don't really remember. And Snapchat usernames, there's no pictures or anything. So I didn't really remember who it was. So I'm like, oh, like, who are you? Who is this? And he was like, oh, I was friends with your ex. And I actually remember when you smacked him because he lost a fight. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like, I remember he lost a fight and you slapped him. And I was like, honestly, yeah, that sounds like something I would do. So I like screenshotted that and posted it on my Instagram story, and everybody was going crazy, laughing, saying that it was so funny. And somebody asked me to do a story time. So today I'm here to do a story time on when I slapped my ex-boyfriend for losing a fight. And you guys are probably thinking that that sounds crazy, but I'm going to get into the story and then you guys are going to understand. So I started doing social media and everything when I was in middle school. So I started really young. I had a YouTube channel in 6th grade. Then I moved to modeling. I was getting my platform started. So by the time I got into high school, people already saw what I was doing. And my first day of high school, I remember I walked through the halls and somebody was like, oh my God, like, that's Kelly, because they recognized me from Instagram. Around the time, I think I had like 6,000 followers, which was a lot for my age and a lot for around the time. So I was like, oh my God, like, is this going to be a thing of like people recognizing me? The man that noticed me, he followed me on Instagram, obviously, but he was older. He was in his junior year. He introduced me to his friends. We were all friendly, nothing like that. But then he introduced me to his friend that I started dating. And this was my first boyfriend in high school. Mind you, this was literally my first month in high school. And I started dating this kid. He was a junior. And he was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube. Can I say like weed and stuff like that? I don't know. He was a pothead and stoner, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And he used to skip class a lot. Mind you, I didn't really know what high school was about. This was my first month of high school. So obviously, you know, he was a bad influence and he would skip class. His parents were really strict, apparently, from what I remember. And they took his phone away. So he didn't have a phone. He lived near the school, so we both used to walk to school together. So he would ask to borrow my phone when he skipped class to go out and smoke, because in the back of my high school, there was like a woodsy area where people would skip class and go outside and go smoke and then come back for the next class. So I was going to class at the time, you know, freshman, didn't really know anything until he started persuading me to skip class. But he was like, okay, like, I'm about to leave. Like, can I borrow your phone? Mind you, this was every day that he was asking to borrow my phone. And I'm putting emphasis on that because you're going to see why. So I remember walking around in the halls with him, and my teachers would look at me like, listen, you shouldn't be talking to him. He's a bad influence. Like, he's never in class. Like, you know, I'm just warning you, you shouldn't be messing with him. You shouldn't be hanging around with him. And they would say it in front of him and he would kind of laugh. And they would be like, oh, you're still not going to class? You're still not going to class? You're skipping again? And he would just kind of laugh because he thought it was funny. He didn't care. I started skipping class because of him, because, you know, I wanted to be with him. more, and his friends were all skipping, and I wanted to be part of the group. So I remember the end of my freshman year, and this is kind of unrelated, but it's still funny, so I'm going to mention it. The end of my freshman year, I was missing credits because I failed my English class because I was skipping during that period, because that was a period that he would go out and smoke and do his thing. So I would skip my class to be in the crowd. So I remember at the end of the school year, I was missing credits, and they told me that I needed summer school. And I was like, the fuck? I'm not going to summer school. And my mom was like, you're really not going to go? Like, you have to. And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. Like, I'm not going to summer school. And at this point, I was kind of a rebel in 8th grade too. Like, that was kind of like my rebel era where I was starting to skip school and everything. So I really did not give a fuck. I was not doing summer school. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it. My mom was like, okay, well, you better figure it out. And I was like, yeah, whatever. The next year, I went to school. And I was like, yeah, like, I know I'm missing credits. And my guidance counselor was like, no, you're not. You're not missing credits. What are you talking about? And I was like, oh, like, I thought I needed summer school. And she was like, no, like, you don't need summer school. And it was like off my record. I was like, what the hell? And I just never went to summer school, but whatever. So he obviously was a pothead. So he would have a lot of plugs and he would buy weed all the time. So he had mad beef with people from his plugs and everything, I guess, for owing them money or whatever. So he would tell me about this. And he'd be like, yo, like, I have problems with this one. We can't pass this person. We can't go here. We can't go there. And I'm just kind of going along with it. Like, all right, like, I don't know what that's about, but okay. So then one day I'm walking to school with him. Like I said, we both live near the school. We would meet up every morning and walk to school together every single morning. One morning I meet up with him. And, you know, we're walking to school as normal. And all of a sudden, somebody runs up on him and is like, where the fuck is my money? Like, you thought I wasn't going to get you. And I'm like, looking at him like, I look like a fucking deer in headlights. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was like, and it was funny because I actually knew the person that ran up on him. But I didn't say anything. I was just dead silent, like, just watching. And when I tell you, he literally like starts kicking him to the ground, stomping on him, and he spit on him. And I'm like, I'm still like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't say nothing. I'm literally just standing there like frozen, like, what is happening right now? And he's like, where the fuck is my money? Like, da da da. And then he turns around, the guy that's like jumping him, I guess. I went to middle school with him, so I knew him. He looks at me. He's like, you know what? Kelly's here, so I'm not gonna do you like that because I have so much respect for her. And he just leaves, and I'm looking at him, and he's literally on the floor, like, in shock. And I'm literally like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, it's so embarrassing because the kid that jumped him, he's younger than me. He's a year younger than me. This kid that I'm dating is 3 years older than me. So you're telling me that you can't fight basically a child? I was so embarrassed. But that's not even the time that I smacked him. I should have smacked him for that because getting spit on is crazy. Like, it was on his glasses, like, dripping. The spit was dripping off of his glasses. When I tell you, I have never been so embarrassed. But actually, I have, because the second story is actually worse. So anyways, I even lent him money to pay his dealers back. But I guess he didn't do that for some reason. And he got jumped. So anyways, no one really knew about that incident because nobody was there to watch it. It was literally just me that was there. And obviously I didn't say anything because that's embarrassing. But okay, so remember when I said that he took my phone to go outside and smoke? So he would go with this girl. She was like part of the friend group. And she was weird. She was one of those girls I was like, oh, your girlfriend is so pretty, but like, low key, I felt like she didn't really like me. She was older than him too. She was a senior. But I'm not going to be that girlfriend that's like, oh, you can't hang around this person and that person, especially if they're in a group. Like, I don't really care. But one day I'm going through my camera roll and I'm literally just scrolling, la, la, la. And I see a picture of him sitting on like a log outside of the woods with her sitting like on his lap on my phone. It was on my phone. So I'm literally just like, I don't remember what I was doing. Probably taking selfies or whatever. And I'm looking at my camera roll and I'm like, what the fuck are these photos? So I confronted him about it. Next day, when I met up with him to walk to school, he didn't have a phone. So we didn't text or anything. We would literally just talk at school. And I showed him the pictures and I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh no, like that's just my friend. We're all hanging out. And I'm like, okay. First of all, you're stupid as fuck to put that on my phone. But anyways, he was just a grimy ass person. So he ended up having beef with the kid that introduced me to him, which, like I said, I was kind of cool with him. So they decided that they were going to fight. And it was like this big thing. Like the whole grade knew about it. And they were like, after school at 2:15 or whatever the fuck it was, we're going to meet up outside and we're going to fight. So the whole day at school, people are coming up to me like, oh, are you going to be at the fight? Like, do you think he's going to win? Who do you think's going to win? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like, I'm a freshman. So this is like my first fight that I'm witnessing in my high school. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, but whatever. So after school, he comes over to me and he's like, okay, like we're going to go out. You're going to hold my stuff and whatever. And then his friend, their friend, who I also knew from Instagram, he told me to take a video. So I was just standing there like a fucking idiot holding his bag, recording like this, waiting. When I tell you there was a big ass crowd of people, it looked like a fucking professional fight. There was mad people surrounding them like in a circle. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is my boyfriend. Like if he loses, it's going to be so embarrassing. Like what the fuck? So anyways, they fight. The kid that he was fighting, 6 foot fucking 1 or something. Tall ass dude. The kid that I was dating, like 5'7", 5'8". I'm not even kidding. And he's skinny as fuck, like scrawny. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So anyways, they start fighting. I'm just standing there recording. And obviously, you guys could guess, he lost again. So I'm literally like, well, so everybody around here, I'm probably like 50 to 70 people just saw you get fucking beat. Like, you literally just got fucked up in front of all these people. I could have fucking won the fight. I literally could have went there and probably saved your ass. But I'm not doing that because 1, I'm a female. 2, all these people are watching. And 3, I don't even really care about this person like that. He was very like verbally abusive. And just stupid. Like, you know when somebody smokes so much that they just don't even have a brain anymore? That was him. He was like, you know, semi-brain dead. So anyways, he loses the fight. I don't remember smacking him, but apparently I did because his friend from high school told me that I did. But honestly, that's something that I really would do because 1, why would you fight in front of me? That's even, first of all, you're not even supposed to fight in front of your girl. 2, you fought in front of me, cool, but then you lost. 3, in front of all these people that are standing there watching, recording. This video is probably going to be all over the internet tomorrow. And I'm literally standing there in the video like shocked, carrying your big ass fucking bag, standing there with the recording. And then I'm like this recording. And then I'm like, like, what the fuck? So yeah, I did smack him. Not like a smack, like, you know, like fucking him up. But like, of course, I'm like, smacking him like that. And no, I actually do kind of remember smacking him because he was caught off guard. At that point, I was done with the relationship. I was like, you know what? This is so embarrassing. The fucking pictures on the phone. He used to like push me around and shit because I was like a little, you know, freshman. And verbally abusive. Like, give me this, give me that. Give me your phone. Give me money. Give me this, give me that. And then you're going to lose in a fight to somebody that was your best friend. So embarrassing. I remember one time okay, so his parents didn't let him hang out outside of school. So he would make up excuses. Oh, I'm going to the library. Yeah, Mom, I'm going to the library to go study. And meanwhile, he would be with me or be smoking with his friends. So after school, his mom, I don't even remember how he talked to his mom because he didn't have a phone. I think his sister, who was in my grade, she was actually pretty cool. Me and his sister were friends. I think she told him like, yo, Mom wants you home after school. And he was like, yo, no, just tell her that I'm going to the library. So whatever, she thought we were at the library. But I think she was like tracking him or something because we actually did start walking to the library. I remember that. So we start walking to the library and the library is like a few blocks down. Mind you, he's high as fuck. He was always high. Like, I don't remember him sober at all. while I was dating him. We dated for a few months. But I remember we're walking down to the library and we're walking towards Highland Boulevard. It's busy, like cars constantly. They're all speeding, obviously, because it's right after school and everybody's picking up their kids or driving home. And this motherfucker literally doesn't even look both ways and fucking walks into the street. I literally, my reflex is so fast that I literally grabbed him by his hoodie, grabbed him like that, and fucking saved his life. He almost died because the car was speeding and he walked into the street without fucking looking. That's how high he was. So I'm literally looking at him like, are you fucking serious? Like, if I wasn't that quick with it, I would have just watched you die. Like, that would have been traumatizing. Looking back, I probably should have let him die. But, like, how do you just walk in front of the street? You see the cars coming. You hear the cars coming. And you're just going to walk like, la, la, la. Like, you're not going to die. That was literally like the craziest moment. I still think about that moment to this day. Like, that's the story time of him. He's married now, which, God bless. I don't even know how. I don't know how. I'm not trying to shit on him, but I don't know how. God bless. He doesn't live here anymore either. He moved away. But God bless, because, oh my God. I'm trying to think. He got me in trouble so many times. I remember I wouldn't go home after school because I would hang out with him because that was like the only moment that we could spend together without his parents asking where he is. And I would go over his house sometimes. His parents were super sweet. But I remember one time after school, I think my mom told me to go pick up my sister or whatever, because she was still young at the time. She was probably like 10 years old. So she was like, go to her school to make sure that she gets home safe. And I was walking home at that age too, because we live near her school as well. It's a few blocks in between. And I was like, okay, like I have to go home. And he was like, no, you're not leaving. Like, you have to spend time with me. And he was so manipulative that I stayed with him. And I literally remember, I don't think my mom knew that I was dating anyone at the time, but she figured it out. She always figured it out. And I don't understand why. Like, she would pull up on me while I'm with the guy and be like, see, I knew it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she would literally just pull up out of nowhere, like just appear every time. I really didn't understand. But I remember she got so mad that I didn't pick up my sister that she threw my phone out the window. Literally, she was like, well, you didn't want to pick up your sister? Boop. And threw my phone out the window. I was appalled. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry that I just exposed you like that. But she literally threw my phone out the window and it was shattered. And I was like, no fucking way. And then the next day she bought me a new phone. She was like, I'm sorry. And bought me a new phone. That was my first high school relationship. And probably one of the worst moments. He made me feel like I was ready to be a mother, because not a mother to a kid. Whoa, pause. Mother to him, a grown ass man, because I'm giving you my phone. I'm saving your life. What the fuck? I'm literally a teenager doing all that. And I'm like, wow, is this how it feels to raise a literal child? Because there was no way. Like, he would be like, oh, can you make me cookies? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like, what the hell? Do I look like a mother to you? God. But yeah, I can't believe I still haven't talked about that on the podcast yet. But I guess it kind of like leaves my memory. But yeah, I guess I did smack him. But he was well deserving of that slap. God, why do I have so many stories? Oh my God. I was meant to be like on a podcast, I guess. So another story time that I have from high school is, I don't even know like how to say this. So when I was in 8th grade, I had 2 best friends, but they ended up going to different high schools. And I don't even think they were friends with each other, but I had like different friend groups. So I was best friends with her, and then I was best friends with her like on different timing type shit. So I don't really think they knew each other well. Like, they knew of each other, but they weren't friends. So one of them I was friends with since I was in first grade, 2nd grade. And then the other one I had just met in like 5th grade or 6th grade, whatever. Yeah, I think we met in 6th grade. So in high school, I was obviously still friends with both of them. My childhood best friend went to a different school. So I obviously didn't really talk to her much. We would text here and there, like update each other on how life is going, but it wasn't like we were calling each other all the time. We still had sleepovers here and there, but it was very like far and few between. But my other friend, we went to the same school, so I was seeing her all the time. And I remember, it's so crazy because in middle school she was lesbian, like full lesbian, and she would tell me about her experiences with her girlfriends and everything. And as soon as she stepped into high school, she started dating guys, which I was like, okay, cool, good for you. Like, explore, do your thing, you know, whatever. She told me that she was talking to some guy on the football team. So I was like, okay, like, good for you, whatever. And then I ended up sleeping over my friend's house, the one that went to a different school. And we're having a sleepover. We're telling each other all the new tea or whatever. And she tells me about the football player that my friend is supposedly dating. And she's like, yo, my friend, her friend, is talking to this football player and like he has like an STD. And I'm literally like, what? She's like, yeah, like my friend is talking to this football player in your school and he has an STD. And I'm trying to tell her, and I'm like, wait. My friend is dating him. So what do you mean he has an STD? Like, are you sure? So I'm like, oh my God, now I have to tell my friend that's dating him not to do anything with him because apparently he has an STD. I didn't really know the football player that well. But I'm like, oh my God, now I have to save my friend because God forbid she like, you know, gets with the first guy that she's ever got with and gets an STD. And like, I'm going to feel mad guilty because I knew that he had it and I still let her do that. But obviously, I didn't want to throw my other friend, under the bus for telling me this. So I go to her and I'm like, hey, like, I have to tell you something. Don't be mad, but I'm just telling you like what I've heard. And she's like, what? And I'm like, the football player that you're dating or talking to, he has an STD. And she was like, what? Who told you that? And I'm like, who told me that? I don't remember. And I'm really trying to play it off like my friend didn't tell me, because obviously they're both my friends. I'm not gonna snitch on my friend like that. So I'm like, I really can't fucking remember for the life of me. Like, I can't. I just remember being told this. And, you know, as your friend, as your close friend, I'm just going to relay the message because I want you to be safe and everything. And she's like, you really don't remember? And I'm like, no, like, I'm trying to sit here and think and I can't remember. And she's like, you're lying. And I'm like, no, I'm not lying. Like, you can't put yourself in that situation because this is what I've been told from people that, you know, have dated him. She's like, no, you're lying. And she deadass stopped being friends with me because of that. She never talked to me again because she thought I was lying. She probably thought I wanted her man, which, if you're watching this, I never wanted your man. But yeah, that's what I got for being a good friend. And I don't think my friend that went to a different high school, I don't even think she knew that I told her. But yeah, she stopped being my friend and she never talked to me again. And they didn't even end up working out anyways. They stopped talking. So that's how I lost my friend. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more story times because I know you guys love my story times. And I feel like I haven't told one in a while. But show love to this. Comment what you would want me to talk about next because I guarantee you I have a story time for literally everything. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.